Hello, my name is Sam and I'm going to talk to you about the Big Mac Index. The Big Mac Index is an index that was invented by the economists in 1986 to see whether the exchange rates between countries were at the optimal level. The Big Mac Index gives a general view of what should be the exchange rate between countries ideally. It also deals with the economic theory of purchasing power parity that compares different countries' currencies by comparing a basket of goods in different countries. The price of the basket of goods with the same goods inside the basket is compared between two countries. The exchange rate would be in equilibrium when the basket of goods cost the same in both countries. In this case, our basket of goods is a Big Mac. The theory of purchasing power parity deals with the idea that a basket of goods should be bought at the same price in all countries around the world. This would mean that the exchange rates between the different currencies that every country has are at the optimal level and are at equilibrium. In this project, we will be dealing with the Big Mac Index, which is a type of index which deals with the theory of purchasing power parity. This index is calculated by doing the exchange rate of one country divided by the exchange rate of a second country. The answer that we would get would be the optimal exchange rate between these two currencies. The Big Mac Index is calculated by dividing the price of a Big Mac in country X by the price of a Big Mac in the base country that we are comparing with the rest of the countries we have chosen to compare the price of the Big Mac with. We will be traveling around the world to compare the price of Big Macs in different countries and compute our own Big Mac indexes. We have chosen to analyze a different set of countries and we have grouped them into three groups: the rich countries, the poor countries, and the average countries. Our goal is to see whether there is a pattern between the exchange rates in rich countries, poor countries, and average countries. The base country that we are going to use for this project is the United States of America, and the price of a Big Mac there is $4.79. The rich countries we have chosen to talk about are Qatar, Singapore, and Luxembourg. In Qatar, the GDP per capita is $64,447. The exchange rate currently is 3.64 and the Big Mac Index is 1.3. This means that since the exchange rate is higher than the Big Mac Index, which is the ideal exchange rate, it means that the currency is currently undervalued. The price of a Big Mac in Qatar currently is $6.23. The second country we have chosen is Singapore. In Singapore, the GDP per capita is $51,431. The exchange rate is 1.34 and the Big Mac Index we got is 1.24. This once again means that the currency is currently undervalued as the exchange rate is higher than the ideal exchange rate, which is 1.24. The price of a Big Mac in Singapore is currently $5.95. The third country we have chosen to talk about is Luxembourg, where the GDP per capita is $101,715. The exchange rate here is 0.84 and the Big Mac Index we got is 2.23. This means that the currency is overvalued as the exchange rate is lower than it should be. The price of the Big Mac in Luxembourg currently is $10.69. To calculate the Big Mac Index for Singapore, we take the price of the Big Mac in Singapore, which is 6.23, and we divide it by the price of a Big Mac in America, which is 4.79. The answer we get is 1.3, which, as we said previously, is overvalued as the exchange rate was higher than this. The average countries we chose to analyze are Malta, Spain, and Italy. Malta has a GDP per capita of $25,603. The exchange rate is 0.84. The Big Mac Index is 1.88. And the price of a Big Mac is $9. As we can see, the currency is overvalued as the exchange rate is lower than the ideal exchange rate, which should be 1 point higher. For Spain, the GDP per capita is 26,643. This means that the exchange rate is 0.84, the Big Mac index is 1.99, and the price of a Big Mac is 9.51. This means that the currency is currently overvalued, as the exchange rate should be higher than what it is right now. In Italy, the price of a Big Mac is the same as in Spain. The GDP per capita is $29,747. The exchange rate is 0.84, and the Big Mac index is 1.99. As we can see, since these three countries use the euro, the currency is overvalued against the dollar. To calculate the Big Mac index of Spain, we take the price of a Big Mac in Spain, which is $9.51, and we divide it by the price of a Big Mac in America, which is $4.79. The number that we get is 1.99, and as stated before, this means that the currency which is the euro, is currently overvalued against the dollar. For the poor countries, we chose to analyze Egypt, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Egypt has a GDP per capita of $3,187. The exchange rate is 17.78. The Big Mac index is 0.30, and the price of a Big Mac is $1.46. This is the cheapest in the world, which means that in Egypt we can buy the cheapest Big Macs. The values for the Big Mac index and for the exchange rate tell us that the currency is currently undervalued. For Pakistan, the GDP per capita is $1,275. The exchange rate is 105.3. The Big Mac index is 1.09, and the price of a Big Mac is $5.20. This tells us that the currency is currently undervalued, as the exchange rate should be much lower, and it's currently extremely high. For Sri Lanka, the GDP per capita is 3,297. The exchange rate is 153.8. The Big Mac index is 0.84, and the price of a Big Mac is $4.1. The currency is currently undervalued, as the exchange rate should be much lower than it is right now. To calculate Egypt's Big Mac index, we take the price of a Big Mac in Egypt, which is $1.46, and divide it by the price of a Big Mac in America, which is $4.79. This tells us that the Big Mac index is 0.30. This means that the Egyptian pound is currently undervalued against the American dollar. In conclusion, we could see no clear pattern between the Big Mac index and the exchange rates. The currencies in underdeveloped countries are typically undervalued, as the three countries that we analyzed, their currencies were all three undervalued against the US dollars. The currencies in developed countries are both overvalued and undervalued. For the rich countries, we could find no pattern, as some were undervalued and some were overvalued. But for the average countries, we could see that all of the currencies, well, the euro, is currently overvalued against the dollar.